Far east of the Sword Coast, the Shadowvar and Discoverin have fallen. The Shadow Storm is no more. Sembia is fractured into city-states. A mysterious hero rises from the ashes to usher in a new era of prosperity. Yet there is still suffering. Cormyr and the wild elves of the Dalelands offer war on all sides. Earth motes, madness, and shadow dragons plague the lands. These are the tales of the heroes who ended that suffering. 1491 DR, the year of Sembian revival.
I can't even remember the last time I slept in a real bed.
It was a 10-day ago. In Derloon.
Ah, yes, the bathhouse of Suni. You take me to the nicest places, Siren.
Hey, at this point, I'm just following Matoa.
Do you think we'll be able to find your contact here, Matoa?
I have never met Galliana Ryoma before. I have heard of her through my studies of the Sembian harpers. They say she is an expert on esoteric arcane magic and a scholar of divine Sembian cults.
In that case, let's look for the oldest person in Kulta. Maybe at a library.
Siren.
What? I'm just saying.
Why are there cows everywhere?
These are Garigold yaks. They have wandered the plains of Sembia since its deforestation nearly 800 years ago.
But why are they wandering free in the village center?
Greetings, strangers. You look lost. Can I help you?
Well met, good sir. We have recently come from a while and are in need of lodging and refreshment.
Of course. May I be the first to welcome you to Kulta? My name is Godfrey Connors. I am the local magister here.
Thank you for the warm welcome, Master Godfrey. You have an impressive market here.
Please, just Godfrey. This is commonly called the Crossroads. Folks coming and going from all over the realm cross through this market.
What's with all the yaks?
They are part of the local herd that pastures in and around town. They, and most of the land here, are owned by the Hakera family.
Oh, I've heard of that family. They are prominent in the Weavers Guild community.
You are in the Weavers Guild?
Siren is in the Weavers Guild, the Jewelers Guild, and the Farmers Guild.
And the Spice Trade Commission.
I learn something new about you every day, Siren.
Master Connors, we are seeking someone here in town named Galliana Ryoma. Do you know her?
Of course, of course. Everyone knows everyone here in Kulta. I just passed Galliana. She was out for her morning walk.
We would be very grateful if you could point us in the right direction.
Every morning, she walks out east towards the cemetery and has her cup of keth.
She starts her day in the cemetery. Does that seem strange to anyone else?
Nonsense. It's quite beautiful out there. There is a grand mound, and in the mornings you can see the sunbeams cut through the mist in the surrounding meadows.
It sounds beautiful.
Thank you, Godfrey. We will go and find Galliana in the cemetery.
I'm starting to think the monk is rubbing off on both of you.
What? Why?
Well, we just got into town, and the first thing you want to do is to take a trek out to the nearest cemetery. And for the record, this half-elf is not into an aesthetic life. I like inns, and taverns, and bathhouses.
We will go back to the town soon. Siren, we just have some business to do before we can relax.
Business? I pray your business with me doesn't involve blades and bondage.
Forgive us, lady. We don't mean to frighten you.
We did not see you through the mist.
I'm not easily frightened, but I do not typically get company here on my morning walks. One cannot be too careful these days.
We have found the same to be true.
Though the helms offer protection and balance, no extreme is good.
For freedom to flourish, all must be in balance.
What just happened? Are you both going to do a special handshake or something?
Oh, Don't trust this one with the location of a treasure.
Yes, but lady, we have come from Battle Rise. I'm afraid I have some bad news about Harold Ambelor.
Harold has finally gotten himself into the wrong kind of trouble, hasn't he?
I'm afraid so. Yes.
Harold was turned into a wraith by the Shatterkai serving Aldond.
Shatterkai serving Aldond. Are you sure of this?
Yes. They trailed us through the vast swamp, but we lost them before coming into Drelt.
Drelt, so you are the reason that group of helms went quickly north to the hunter's hamlet.
Yes, I'm afraid so. Before he was killed, Harold said that you might be able to help us identify this.
Before I broke it, this beacon was glowing.
And emanating a huge amount of magical energy.
Harold told us that at the moment this orb lost its power, the Earth mote of Jariel fell from the sky.
So this orb, in some way, caused Jarleel to become an earth mote. And where did you hear it called a beacon?
One of the helms referred to it as a beacon.
This orb reminds me of the great mythalors used by the Shadowvar.
The magic it gave off also reminded me of Sakhar's.
I see. Yes, there are certainly similarities. Let's get back to town. I will study this more while you rest. You must be exhausted from your travels. You can rest in my home.
Oh, that sounds fantastic.
I will have many questions for you when you awake. My guest stir. Did you rest well?
Yes, thank you.
Were you able to learn anything more about this orb?
I believe so, yes. Do you see this rune here? It denotes that this orb belongs to a set.
Do you mean that there are more of these things out there?
I believe so, yes.
Why did Aldon place this in Battle Rise?
I believe that this beacon was meant to mark a boundary of sorts.
So, these other orbs, would they also mark a boundary?
Yes, that makes sense to me.
What boundary would Aldon be interested in marking?
Aldon is trying to unite Sembia. In order to do that, he would have to establish the proper borders of the nation.
The magic that resided in this orb was a powerful and chaotic magic. Something like this would have caused wild magic anomalies.
That would explain the sickness, earthquakes, and rise of the undead around the Redwater Meadow.
I'm still confused about something. I understand why Aldon would want to mark the boundaries of Sembia, but why use these magic beacons? What benefit would these give him?
Very astute, my Timoran friend. To answer this question, I would ask the Kenku scholar among us, Mitoa. What is the root of the word beacon?
Beacons are objects used to warn, signal, or guide others.
So, what are these beacons guiding Aldon to?
And how many more beacons are out there?
And where are they located?
There would need to be at least 3 beacons in order to guide Aldon to whatever he is looking for, but there could well be more than that.
It shouldn't be hard to find these other beacons. There will be wild magic surges.
Yes, that's right. But I keep coming back to what you said earlier, that Aldon is in league with the Shadowkai.
Yes, they have sought me out since we were in Jarleel.
What do you think they want with you?
Perhaps they think I have some knowledge of the Mythalar that powered Sakhar's, thus advancing their arcane knowledge of these beacons.
Perhaps.
Aldon doesn't seem to be lacking in dark magic. When I arrived in Battle Rise, I saw him draw forth his blade and perform that ritual, the one that swallowed all of those purple dragons.
Interesting. He used his blade as his spell focus. That is unusual. Can you describe the blade?
It curved back and forth from the hilt, and it glowed a dark purple hue.
The blade you describe sounds like one I have studied. It belonged to the first ruler of Sembia, named Rothoveer. He called the sword Orumordic, and what a bloody history it has.
Where did you learn all of this?
Rothoveer's bride, Rovena, was born here in Kota. I recently discovered a large underground mausoleum dedicated to her near the cemetery.
What else have you learned from the mausoleum?
Inside the building, it looks to be more of a dedicated shrine, but the women that once maintained it have long since perished.
What else is inside?
I haven't dared to go too far inside. The antechamber is riddled with traps.
Ah, and if the tomb has been abandoned that long, I would wager there are unfriendly creatures residing there.
Yes, but if you wish to find out more about Aldon's blade, this would be a good place to start.
Why do I get the feeling that we will be going into a creepy mausoleum tomorrow?
Because we tread the faithful path of the lady.
Thank you for your help, Galliena. We will ready ourselves.
Tomorrow, we enter the crypt of Ravenna, Bride of Rathavia.
Though this marks the end of the episode, the tale continues within a 10-day. Join us at longwinded.one and consider giving us a review on Apple Music, Spotify, or really whichever platform you choose.